King Cobra.
Urban Retrospect. I am King Cloud up here in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's do a quick check-in. Let me go first with my homeboy P. P, let the people know who you are.
Hey, your boy P is back, coming straight from Panama City. Graduate of Tennessee State University, best HBCU in the land. Go Big Blue.
And your pink.
Got on pink. Even though he got on pink.
Hey, that's still my school. Don't hate. Don't hate.
Nah, he from West Tennessee. He got on pink. He got on pink.
Okay. Let's shout out my boy. Let's go to Hendersonville and holler at my boy Scott. What's up, man?
How we doing? My name's Scott Jones. I'm representing from Nashville, Tennessee, suburb, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Went to Indiana State University in Terre Haute. Represent. Glad to be here.
Larry Bird School.
All right. Let's go, as I've said before, to the man that's in the same great state that I reside in. He just lives way far south. Big G, man. Say what's up to the people.
Big G.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Glad y'all can join us. Greg Jones, from Indianapolis, Indiana. I do reside in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I did go to the best HBCU in the land, Kentucky State University. Go Thoroughbreds down in Frankfort, Kentucky. That's about it. We'll have a good time tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. All right.
Always.
Let me go on to my brother Ramsey James. Ramsey James, say what's up.
What's going on, people? Ramsey James, representing Florida, Tennessee State, and East Bay High School. Shout out to East Bay Indians. And looking forward to getting into it tonight.
All right.
He went back to high school. All right. And next on to my boy Wes.
This is your boy, Wesley Newell, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Up here in Nashville. I went to the school with the most black national championships. And the most in the Hall of Fame from HBCU. The great.
He only stating facts. Baby. He is only stating facts. He's only stating facts.
There you go.
That's all it is. And once again, I am Kendrick Cloud in Cleveland, Ohio. Just to give you a quick reminder, we are here to promote and review Black-owned products and give our honest review. We all everyday people. We are not experts. We are just friends that like to drink a little good alcohol together, talk, and laugh. Okay? But, so you know, this is from the heart, all right? So, I told you what we like to do. Let me let you know what we did.
King Cobra.
All right. Tonight's product is bourbon.
Yeah.
Brough Brothers Bourbon. All right. It is made in, of course, Kentucky. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna jump on into it right now. First, you know what? It's only respectful. It's respectful to let
Right.
the man from Kentucky
Mhm.
go first.
Whiskey Row. Tell them what it
There you
is.
go.
partner.
Scott, let him know.
Urban
Tell them what it is.
Hey,
Little beer.
you know, when we decided to do this was something that I really wanted us to be able to experience some good libations while doing it. So everyone here did not realize this is what I've been sipping on every time we've been filming this show. So I found out about Brough Brothers actually from a friend of mine that just sent me a link of different Black-owned, liquor companies and liquor distilleries. And I happened to be home one weekend and checked to see if Brough Brothers was at a local liquor store, home being Louisville, Kentucky. They had it, grabbed a bunch of them, came back, gave them all out to you all, and here we are. And honestly, I love it. It's halfway gone. I tried to wait until this recording. Price wise, $25, $26 a bottle, not bad at all. It's actually in several, a lot of different liquor stores around the state of Kentucky. It's my understanding that it is here in Tennessee as well. So you can definitely get it that way. There are different liquor stores that will possibly ship to you. I'm not sure about shipping into the state of Tennessee, but possibly into some of the other states. But Smooth has kind of like a ginger aftertaste. But I love it. I even had it last I think last week when we recorded, and had I don't even want to tell everybody what we spoke on last time, but great bourbon. Great bourbon. Thank you. And now we'll get it.
What was that, Scott? Oh, get a quick sip, huh? You know what? As a matter of fact, man, hey, listen, I like that idea. So this is what we're going to do. This is impromptu. After every review, let's have a little sip. All right. Next person I'm going to go to, because I was looking at the list, I said, who's next? I'm going to say, the next person, man, we shared a moment at Tennessee State's 100-year anniversary. I had just been to Canada and picked up some good Canadian whiskey. And I brought it to homecoming. And me and this man, we shared a room, and all weekend we was talking about the precious. The precious. You know what I'm saying? I thought about him the other day while I was listening to Kendrick Lamar, and we was doing swimming pools. It was like,
I remember that.
I gotta go.
Ramsey Tahoe,
I'm throwing
right?
it to Ramsey James.
Yeah.
Yeah, the precious. Well, let's talk about Brough Brothers. First, I'm going to talk about great price point. Definitely, as Scott mentioned, good mid-tier, entry-level bourbon for your everyday drink you need, right? Definitely love the bottle, the presentation-wise. I mean, representing culturally, Louisville. I see the boxing gloves on here.
Yeah.
Nice story on the back. In their website, and the part that caught me, we are our brother's keepers.
Oh,
So I thought that was dope from a
Oh,
bottle
nice.
presentation
Nice.
wise. The taste, definitely smooth. I like my bourbon with some ice, light ice, so it really fills out the bourbon when you add ice. I thought straight. You did get a little bit of the spicy tones, a little bit of caramel when you get into the bourbon, but just a bourbon like Scott mentioned, everyday bourbon that you can just come home, have a little sip, maybe two, but definitely one that I'm gonna be purchasing again.
Okay.
He
Okay.
said he
Like
tastes
that.
spices. What kind of spices? Say, Ramsey.
We are
and to
our
that,
brother's keepers. I
saw-
like that.
I like that.
there you
That's
go.
that New Jack City, ain't it?
We are our brother's
Right.
keepers.
That's that New Jack City.
The Nino.
You know what
Yeah,
happened?
Nino.
Am I my brother's keeper?
You know what happened?
Yeah, you know what happened to him after he said that.
Yeah, he did.
Bye, baby.
All right.
Hey, hold up. Chris Rock got famous off that role playing Pookie.
He did.
Oh, my goodness.
So
He keeps calling me. He keeps calling me. He keeps calling
He's calling me.
me.
hey, I bet we all wish we had that role because look at the success.
Hey.
By the way,
Yes.
Chris Rock, one of the best comedians
You got that right. He's
all
one
time and from the United States, man.
all day.
All right, let's keep it moving. Again, let me holler at my homeboy. He's not from the state, but he lives in the state. So you know what? That makes him a Buckeye.
Yeah.
And we always need more Buckeyes.
Yes, we do.
All right.
Get out of here, man.
You
Y'all
know
so
what I'm saying?
bootleg.
Shout out to my boy Big G. Big G. Let him know
From
what's up.
They
ND.
ain't even playing no football right now. They ain't even playing no football.
What's up? How's everybody? Brough Brothers. Price point $27 for some good mid-grade bourbon. And I'm not a bourbon aficionado. I'm not, but I know when I like something that I taste. You know, if it's something that tastes good and it's smooth, I roll with it. I've actually been to Louisville and bought some and dropped it off at a friend's house, and they killed it. I was like, oh, let me put you on something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
$27 on me.
Yeah.
This is how we do it. But other than that, as y'all heard in the beginning, mine where it was shipped to me, but it was boxed up very nicely by Brother Scott. Thank you, Brother Scott. The
There you
presentation.
go.
Brother Scott.
Yes.
We're gonna put some in the plate for him.
But got a little recipe for y'all. Check this out. I froze like some Coke. I put them into my little ice trays. And
Yes,
you
they're
pour
ice
the bourbon
cubes.
over them, and then you squeeze a fresh lemon on top of it.
Damn.
Slap your mama good, man.
Yeah.
Watch it.
The bartender
You made
MacGyver.
you
Watch
a
it. So
concoction.
you know, this is just something something to think about. So definitely I would buy this product again. And get your cups up, fellas.
Sir.
All
There
right,
we go.
Wes, you next up. Let them know.
All right. Brough Brothers. When Scott told us, you know, I know Scott knows his bourbon because Scott be telling us about bourbons that I never heard about. You know what I'm saying? So he's a bourbon drinker. And I really like the price point at $27. This would be like a good bourbon that, like, say, hey, you're about to go to, you know, a party or something, and you got a BYOB, and you don't want to come out too much on your cheese.
But you don't want to go in.
We all been in those situations. Like, really, should I spend $50 for some liquor? And they go, you know, huh?
That everybody
$70 on some liquor, you know what I'm saying, to go to this party that I'm going to have 2 sips of it out of. So I like the price point. That was good. The bourbon is actually better than what I thought it was going to be. Usually
your
in that
bar.
price range, usually get some. It's not a lot of good bourbons in that price range. I'm be honest with you.
You're right.
You know, I graduated from Paul Masson's. Like that. You know, and E and J, Erkenjerk. I graduated from that. So in that price range, it's way better. Everybody done had that Erkenjerk before. So don't front.
Unfortunately.
Yes. One thing that, let me show y'all my body, y'all.
It ain't good, is it?
Let me tell you. Y'all remember that song by Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice? In that line,
Yeah.
everybody got their cup, but they ain't chipped in. That happened to me a couple of weeks ago when one of our good friends, we ain't gonna say his name on here, started saying, "Hey, Wesley got this good black liquor." And so everybody had their cup.
But they ain't chipped in.
They ain't chipped in.
This type of shit happens all the time.
I poured it out. And it's kind of funny because, you know, people were kind of hesitant at first because, you know, we're conditioned on certain type of liquors, just be honest.
Yeah.
And new stuff we don't gonna try. So they were hesitant at first. But when I poured it out, a lot of people, it shocked a lot of people. Now, you know, one thing I like to do, you know, on my weekends is sit out on my deck on my porch, smoke a cigar, you know, and drink either some bourbon or some rum. What I liked about this, it went good with a cigar. It was very, very smooth, and I didn't have that bite, and it wasn't overpowering. So it kind of blended together with the cigar. I get it. This product is an A+ for me. So I will get it again. It will be in the bar.
Another sip. There we go.
Sip.
He got a fresh one.
Oh yeah, I did. It had it.
All right.
Finally, Simply P. Let them know what you thought.
Hey, so I got this beverage from Scott. I trusted him that he gonna he had a good taste on beverage being from Kentucky, man. So when I got it, I was bragging to my friend, like, hey man, I got this bourbon, everybody needs to try out and stuff. So they tried it out and everybody agreed with me. It was smooth. And I said, man, this only cost $27. They couldn't believe that. Like you said, it's a good price for entry level bourbon. So I can't wait to try it with my cigar too, man. So when I get my cigar, I'm gonna try it out with that too. So yeah, I would give it a fist up as well. Smooth and good price.
All right, Simply P.
Number 2.
Okay, so listen, that actually then leaves me. So let me explain something, man. I am telling you up front, I am not really a bourbon drinker. Okay. Only recently, when I say recently, I mean within the last 3-4 years, I've gotten into scotch. Okay. And drinking some good scotches. You know, there are different brands that I will not say on here because they are not black owned. But you know, they're good scotches, right? And so
Good scotch.
before I've had I will say this name. I've had Woodford. It's a good mid-price bourbon that I think everybody on here has had, right?
Nice.
And so, you know, I've had that, but still I was like, I'm still cool. I like vodka. Vodka allows me to be on top, you know what I'm saying, all the time, and I'm good. But that's it. He said, you know, Scott said, man, I got I found some bourbon. Y'all want to try it? I said, all right, cool. Let's expand the palate. I bought it, and it actually paired with the bourbon infused cigar from Black Star line. Okay.
Oh.
Message, y'all need to check out the previous episode to know what.
Check out the previous episode and hear about the Black Star line. So I actually used that and I took it. And you know, my homeboy Young Phil, shout out to Young Phil. He owns a couple cigar lounges up here. Taught me a couple of things. He was like, man, listen, you know, clip the end, dip it, you know, a little bit, and then go ahead and smoke. Okay, so that's exactly what I did. And like I told y'all last week, that smoke was so smooth. And then like, man, and now I'm drinking the bourbon and I'm sipping and I'm smoking. Listen, man, I haven't had a good time like that by my damn self in a long time.
Let me tell you something, man. When you over 40, it's nothing better. Some of your best times is to be alone out there on that deck.
Man, Ben, what you say? So, you know, I did that. Now, you know, the only problem was it was very difficult to attain it, to get it. I think that will be addressed, and I'm confident in that. But other than that, it was. I mean, listen, it was a great experience. So that's my take. All right. So, crew, cheers. All right. Now, this is the part of the show, like I said in the beginning, where we're going to vote. We're going to tell you if we would mess with this product again, if we would order it again, if we would, if we enjoy the overall experience. Now, typically, we signify it by fess up. For this show, it's only appropriate. It's only proper. It's only the right thing to do to raise your glass if you would recommend this product. All right. So on the count of 3, let me see those glasses raised. Only if you want it. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I'm the only one who didn't raise his hand. But I also told you I'm not that big of a bourbon drinker. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me be the one.
I like that rule.
Don't let me be the one. If I had to,
Shout out to Brough Brothers, man. Keep
shout
doing
out
what
to
you're
Brough
doing.
Brothers. Listen,
Yeah,
I will
right.
say this though. This one last thing. I just found out today. I promise you tonight, before we went on to record. My sister-in-law actually had some of this while she was at my house and liked it. Okay. So, I want to be clear, and don't get me wrong, she drinks with me every now and then, but, she went ahead and take a sip because I had been offering her some, and she really did like it. So, I want to make sure that it's clear. I'm just not big into bourbon, but I'm working on extending my palate. Let me get these whiskeys down first, too, all right? So, that's it.
You gotta get out
All
that
right.
Wild Irish Rose, man.
Hey, listen, man,
Gas station liquor.
that Rose has
You
never
from
done me
Cleveland.
wrong.
Y'all get that liquor from gas stations.
Hey, first of all, no, we get them from convenience stores.
What was it that what he sipped on Sanford and Son? What was it that he called?
Ripple.
Ripple. Yeah.
All right, there we go, everybody. That wraps it up on the actual product for this week. Let's go on to the quick takes. Time to get things a little bit serious, a little bit laugh. All right. We're gonna go with, what are your thoughts on the conventions, on both of them? Right now we have the RNC going on. Last week we had the DNC. Have you been watching? What do you think? You know what I'm saying? Everybody be respectful, but what's your thoughts? What are you seeing? Let me start with Big G in Cincinnati.
Well, I haven't had a chance to watch the RNC, but I did catch most of the DNC. I'm terrible with politics. I'm gonna vote. I always vote, but I'm terrible with politics because I know the underlining. The way I feel, the underlining is always dealing with money. They really don't. If you, my opinion, if you leave it up to our government to do what's best for us, so that whole thing. Yes, this dude in office right now, there needs to be a change. But I didn't watch the RNC, but I did watch part of the DNC. And my thoughts on it is like it's jaded. It's jaded. So moving on to somebody else. So
All right. Okay.
Hey.
Next, let's move on to Perrin. Perrin, let the people know.
Hey, man. So last week, man, you had they had a hypeness about the DNC. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, the DNC coming out. Can't wait to see Michelle. Can't wait to see Barack Obama. Can't wait to see what the AKA Miss Harris, what she gonna talk about. All right. So they had us all hyped up. It was all right. You know what I'm saying? Most people already know who they're going to vote for. And then you roll into the RNC, heard a speech with a lady who she gave a speech like we were about to play a football game, like we going to war. I mean, she was screaming into the microphone, scaring everybody. Like, what are you screaming about? Then you had the president's son coming up there, eyes on water, like he is high as a kite. I mean, he was lit. So, hey, you decide, man. You decide who you gonna run with. But hey, it is what it is, man. We got, like the president said, it is what it is. We got, hey, you decide. What, no, do your homework. All I want you to do is vote. Decide on who you want, man.
Right, vote.
There you go. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, my boy Simply P. Next, let me shoot it over to Wes. Wes, let the people know what you think.
Okay. Now, I watched the DNC one last week, and this was different because of the pandemic, and it was all basically a big Zoom meeting. It was cool. The thing they were trying to push was that Joe Biden is a decent candidate and a turn back to normal. But I wish they would address more policies. It's like, okay, you're different than Trump, but what you're going to do once you get in office? Like,
Right.
I wish they did that. And also, too, you don't hear nothing about this. And I heard Reverend, I forgot his name, Barberry. He's out of North Carolina. Hallie, no. He's a pastor, but I heard him talk about it and also didn't address what's the poor. Like, we don't really hear that no more, or really how, mostly you don't hear that from the Democratic Party no more. How just the poor and also the policy change. You just can't, once you get in office, you just can't say, hey, we're not Trump, and then go back to policies. It's not going to work. But I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. So he's going to get my vote. That's just one thing I start. Now with the RNC, I'm not going to lie. I tried to watch it, but it is very difficult to watch. It is very difficult to watch from my viewpoint. And this is why. I heard stuff that just didn't make no sense at all. It's just like, be honest with you, like, there's two different Americas out there. And you either staunch in your blue or staunch in your red. And it's like, you hear stuff when I heard from the Republican convention, I'm just like, this is not really happening. This is not really going on right now. And it's like, they focus on council culture. I know they put out certain people to address race relations, but then you really look at it, they're not really addressing things that really will solve the problems. They're just trying to say, hey, look at what we're doing just to placate to a certain part of their base. It was very hard to watch. Like, to be honestly, I cut it on and I said, F this, man, I'm going to watch the NBA playoffs.
There you go.
I'd rather watch the Mavericks and the Clippers play right now than watch the RNC convention. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just
Right.
like, it's hard to digest, you know what I'm saying? But that's from my viewpoint. But for anybody out there, you might feel different than what I feel. Like I said, man, like P said earlier, man, go out and vote. Because if you don't vote, your voice don't get heard. Whether you're Republican or a Democrat, get out there and vote. I don't care what your issue, what side you fall in, just vote. So
That's true. That is true. All right. Next up, let me go with Scott Jones.
All righty. Honestly, I haven't seen any of the RNC yet. Of course, we're on day 2 and can't watch it right now, obviously. But I did see part of Tuesday, the DNC. And it just, one, with it being COVID, of course, it being the Zoom and having to go back from virtual, it's good to see that everybody was still doing what they're supposed to be doing in contrast to what's going on right now. And that's, staying safe. We did see history with Kamala, of course, accepting the VP candidacy with Joe Biden. So that was
HBCU.
What's that?
She's a HBCU
HBCU.
graduate.
And she's also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. That's my wife's sorority as well. So,
And my
so
mother.
it was good to see that. It was also good. But it was also good to hear the speakers, specifically Bill Clinton and then former President Barack Obama. You know, he treated that as if it was another presidential address. And a lot of the comments that he said were definitely on point and was needed. So just as everyone else here has said, it's more important to vote and just make sure you exercise that right. You know, if you all can't see because I have this virtual background, but my whole wall here is a big Obama shrine. I have plates, books, and all that. And it just made me go back and look to how well we had it these last 8 years prior to who we have in there now. So that's a big thing. Vote. That's all I got to say.
Okay. All right. And then finally, Ramsey, bring us home.
Ram.
Yeah, so I've actually been watching both. I watched the DNC as much as I could. I watched the RNC as much as I can. My wife hates it, but I think it's important to listen to both sides, to understand both sides, and really weed through some of the BS on both sides, right? So both are going to have an aspect of propaganda, right?
Yes.
That's what the conventions are for. It's a rally. It's going to play to the base of both parties. But one thing that is disturbing, I will say, to Wesley's point, is if you take last week and you look at a lot of the overall message is about hope, coming together, being one nation. What I saw last night, especially with the couple from St. Louis, was fear mongering.
Mm-hmm.
If you vote the other way, hint, hint, they're going to move next to you. They're going to be lawlessness, and you don't want that. So it's more fear mongering than I've ever seen from the Republican Party, which is really sad because there are probably some things that we could pick up and work together and make all this better. But the fear mongering just reminds me of a tactic that gets used over and over and over. And it really gets used with minorities since the beginning of time. But it gets used over and over and over. And I can't believe we're in 2020 and we're still using it in this manner. And it's so blatant that it's really disgusting to watch. And I wish that more Republicans would stand up and say, you know what, this is not for us. This is not how we want to be portrayed. Because if you watch that and you're behind that, you're pretty much not behind any kind of diversity or inclusion.
And what's crazy about that, Ramsey? If you really look into the future, Latinos are going to be the most populated ethnicity in this country, probably in the next 30-something years.
But what you also will see, like P mentioned, the person that was screaming on the mic last night was a Latina.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of minorities that are speaking up in the party that I think are misguided. I know there was a gentleman on there, African-American gentleman, talking about, I have my own mind. They're talking certain way. But at the end of the day, if you really look at what was the theme, fear is the theme. Fear of what will happen if you vote this way. And it's really, right in your face of,
But the thing I was trying to touch on is like the country, the demographics of this country is changing. And they cannot
Where's the money?
I understand where the money's at, but the demographic is changing. That's why they're trying.
So
That's why they're trying to what
you
you do
can
with the
have
votes?
you can have
Press
the
the votes.
demographics. Where's the money?
It's the money. Yeah.
The
I get you. That's
money.
why they're trying to suppress the vote. Why you think they're doing a thing with the post office?
Yeah, they definitely trying to suppress the vote, but they also know that with the money, we can still control. Even if we could, the money, until you start
It's the money.
changing the money, that's what we doing now.
That's what they doing with the Black Lives Matter. Changing the money.
I ain't talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm talking about this is what we're doing
But that's
now.
one of it.
Is saying use your money
He's saying
to
he's talking about
support
the show.
the companies.
He's talking
the
about the
show.
show.
Use your money, people, to support the companies that support you,
Your people.
that support diversity. Don't use your money with people who want to divide people.
Yeah.
Until you start doing that. So at the end of the day, yes, the makeup of the country is changing, but we got long. It's gonna take a while. But the money, your money, you can control right now.
Yeah.
And
I can't live in
And
Texas.
vote.
Can't live in Texas. And one of the things they spoke about on this speech last night was, hey, the Democrats gonna have MS-13 move in next door to you. Hey, I got a lot of Mexican friends. Ken got a lot of Mexican friends. I don't know not one MS-13. You know what I'm saying? So they threaten them like, hey man, these guys gonna move in right next door to you. That's not right, man.
And what's silly is what person that's working hard, trying to make it for them and their families, wants crime living next to them.
Exactly.
People act. Black people don't want crime. White people don't want crime. Hispanic people don't want crime. Asian Americans don't want crime. Nobody wants crime. So just because we Black, we're not cool with crime. But at the end of the day, I think that people need to make the distinction between protest and crime, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pro-protest all day. If there wasn't protest, there would be no United States of America. There would be no civil rights movement. I'd still be working in a right.
There'd be no voting. We wouldn't even be talking about voting.
There was women's suffrage. I mean, women wouldn't vote. Nobody. So protest is just as American as anything else. But crime is crime, right? So nobody supports somebody doing crime. But at the end of the day, if you take, okay, somebody smashed this window, let's say, which is, a crime, versus somebody getting shot in the back 7 times. All right, the window can be fixed. The window can be repaired. A man's life is gone.
Right. Yeah, they said like the dude, what's his name? Blake, probably will never ever walk again. And then we don't talk.
To me, what there used to be a time where shooting somebody in the back was considered cowardly.
Yeah.
Now it's just like the norm. Like, hey, I shot him in the back.
Also, too, what doesn't get addressed is what about the trauma on the kids? Like, dude, like he got shot in front of his kids. Now, those kids are gonna have that in their stained in their memory, and it'll probably never be the same. I mean, people don't talk about that. People don't talk about these experiences. Like, they have trauma, and it's a ripple effect that carries on in your later life. People that's why you just really can't say, when people say get over it, you can't get over it, because unless you have to go through the proper steps to get over it, it can't be fixed with a snap of the finger and say forget it. So
there you go.
Question. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna use a little bit of privilege on this. So every now and then, my wife and I, we, in these COVID times, we try and get together and watch movies. Just do something where, if the kids are gone, we can sit back and we can just spend some time. You know, and a lot of times we will watch an old school Black movie, right? And so last Saturday we were watching Love Jones. Okay, listen, let me be clear. I'm not in love with Love Jones like everybody else is. Let me be clear about that. But you know who I used to be in love with? Nia Long. Ooh, she looks so good, that whole thing. So listen, man, as a young man, I was like, man, she's gorgeous. Based off of that, I want y'all to give me your old school crush from the movies. All right, whoever it is, for whatever reasons, you know what I'm saying. Always show respect, but be honest. Okay, so let me start with my player from the Himalayas, Big G. Let me know who she was. I don't care who. She can be from 2000s, 90s, 80s.
Hey, so yeah, gonna laugh, but I thought she was super gorgeous. I used to watch the show called The Jamie Foxx Show.
Oh, fancy.
Fancy, that's what I said.
Young lady on there, fancy.
Woo!
Now,
Hey,
you know, back then she was gorgeous.
Garcelle.
Yes, but she got a movie on Netflix called Giving Grace or Saving Grace, or one of the something Grace on Netflix.
It's a Tyler Perry movie.
I don't know. It kind of but she's on that movie now and ain't a brick out of place, man.
Hey, let me tell you something, man, about her. You know, I'm a Real Housewives fan.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
And guess she's on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
What?
Yes. I told y'all need to start watching Bravo. I told you.
I'm curious.
And let me tell you something, man.
No, they some old sedity.
Yeah.
I wonder how they treat
But
them.
one thing I can say about her is she's single, dog. So you still might got a chance.
You got a chance.
Woo, yes. And let me tell you something. She aged very well.
Yes,
Very well.
She was actually older then.
Yes.
Yeah.
On Jamie Foxx.
Also, I think wasn't she on? And guess what movie she was on? The classic, Coming to America.
Yes, she was.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she was.
She was one of
Yeah,
the
And she's going to be on Coming to America too.
And she just got
already
hired. I think
filmed it. She
just got hired to the View, or to the View or something like that. She just got hired.
And she posed for Playboy too. She posed for Playboy.
Yes.
I knew
You
people
want
would
to throw that in.
Way to sneak that one in, P.
I'm just saying.
Right. Look at him on Google.
Hey,
P said,
you
forget
can
everything.
tell the one who stuck in his daddy drawers back in the day.
Oh man, I read the
And then
article.
Black
I read
Tail.
the article. I read the article.
He said Black Tail.
LD, what's his name? Devers. What's his name? Devers. Not LD.
And y'all don't know what that Black Tail is. Look it up. That's a speed.
All right.
Be back in the
Okay.
day.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh man. Okay. Ooh, all right.
Y'all, man.
Hey Wes, we're just gonna count that as your turn. Okay. Goodness gracious. All right. Man.
Nah, that's not my turn, man. I gotta keep going because I got some more tips.
I gotta keep
Oh, you got more? Okay, then Wes, then keep going.
Not my turn.
All right,
Yeah.
man.
20 minutes later.
I thought when I saw her in More Money back in the day that she was the most beautiful woman I ever seen in my life. Was Stacey Dash.
Okay.
Stacey Dash, National smoke that red crack. I can't mess with
Yeah,
her.
okay, I'm about to say, yeah.
But back in the day, Stacey Dash was beautiful, man.
It wasn't even that far back in the day when it all falls down with Kanye West. Oh, listen, man.
Yes.
How about
People saw that and said, "I forgot about Stacey Dash."
I love, and this is why I like Stacey Dash, man. She had that beautiful, chocolate caramel skin and green eyes. Because usually those green eyes, it had to be with someone very fair skinned. But to me, she was very beautiful. But
she was on the movie with the school. Was it Cruel Intentions or something like that?
Clueless.
Clueless. That's it.
I thought she was very beautiful. But nowadays, man, you look at her now, I'm just like, man, that red crack is tough. You be on Fox News and stuff. I'm just like, you just lost 5 points from me. You just lost.
Okay.
Like, nah.
Well, my boy, straight out of Brownsville, Haywood County. Simpleton.
Yeah, what you gonna say?
Hey, man. Hey, listen, man. Who said episode 1? They called me Menopause P. That was I'm gonna keep it
People be
going.
like, Mildred.
The Golden Girls. She like the Golden Girls.
Hey,
Golden
I'm
Girls.
taking it back, Wes. Hey, I'm gonna keep Menopause P going, Wes, because you said it. Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown, dog. That's the hard one. I'm talking about the old one. I ain't talking about the new one.
Pam Grier. Pam Grier.
Pam Grier. Oh my God, Pam Grier's a beast. Vintage. It don't need age, dog. She could be 80. Wes still hit though. But yeah, but Fox, hey, Pam Grier.
No. No.
He said
No.
Pam Grier,
Menopause P.
Menopause P.
Oh man, you are.
Let me go throw it to Scott Jones. Scott Jones, let the people hear what you got to say.
Well, I'm not to throw salt on your all's choices, but I was a fan of who Wes as well as Kendrick, whoever chose Nia Long. I was a fan of Nia Long's up until I saw her on the red carpet one time when Kendrick Lamar was on the red carpet, and she hated on him. She was like, "Who is that dude?"
Oh,
wow. But she got kicked off of Empire, right?
What's that?
She got kicked off of Empire because of her attitude.
Being a diva.
I'm just saying. So, speaking of Kendrick Lamar, I would say my favorite growing up, Halle Berry or Halle Boo.
Hey.
Big girl down there, what they do.
Yes.
This is my thing about Halle.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Just want to
you crazy though.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Because them dudes they marry her and they leave quick.
That don't matter.
Yeah, they do. David Justice left. Eric Benet.
That don't matter.
The dude with the sandals left. The dude with the sandals left.
Who was that? Christopher Williams.
Wesley Snipes.
Eric Benet.
That don't matter.
The weird dude with the sandals. Yeah. And then she started dating the others, and they left her. I'm just
Everybody
like,
we mentioned been married multiple
and if you look at her Instagram, she is cold. She is cold.
Every woman you mentioned been married multiple times. Ain't one of them got one man and wrote it out with.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. But if the man filed for divorce,
I'm just saying.
and I know if my ugly self dated Halle Berry, I ain't leaving.
Yeah, you will.
Unless she crazy.
Yeah, you will.
Unless she crazy.
You leave.
That's the only thing you'll leave a woman for. If she crazy, you'll leave.
When she say, "You want me to do what?" You leave.
Go to Tuscaloosa on Valentine's Day?
All right, fellas. Let's keep it moving. Next up, Ramsey. Who was she?
Ramsey. My dog.
Yeah, Scott, you had a good one because Holly Berry made a crackhead look good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know about
Yes,
that.
she did.
But
Much respect.
I'm gonna hit y'all with somebody. I don't even know if this. I guess it's kind of old school. I'm trying to go way back, but when I saw this movie and this young lady was playing Sunshine, and I was like, Sunshine.
I like that.
That Leela
Yeah,
Rashawn.
what's her name?
I mean,
Yeah,
Leela
sir.
Rashawn.
See that
Let me
you
tell
must be
you.
a fan because I never knew her name.
Hey,
I just knew
Oh,
her
yeah.
Sunshine.
and you
on
call her
her name.
Sunshine, but
Remember
She
those?
nice.
Remember her feet on Boomerang though?
Hammer time.
Remember her feet on Boomerang?
yes, I do remember that scene. But Leela Rashawn
Yeah.
back in the day,
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
nice.
killing.
Today, instead of having, one of our, word to the wise type of moments, we're going to have a Black History moment, all right? And this week's Black History moment is being given by P. Burnett. Holla at him, P.
What you got?
Hey, so this show is about barbershop moments, man. I'm sitting listening to the guys at the barbershop talking about voting. And it hurts me because the guy was like, I ain't voting and all this stuff. But you got to think about this right here. What our ancestors did to get our right to vote. When they passed the Civil Rights Act, before they passed it, they used to give black people, I mean by us black people, quizzes to prove that we can read, prove that we're citizens, different stuff to keep us from voting. One of the questions they asked is, all of us, we all are college graduates here on this screen here. One of the things they asked, it says covered by the bill. Which one of the following is covered by the Bill of Rights? All right, I want you guys to think about this. Which one of these are covered by the Bill of Rights? Right to education, trial by jury, right to vote, or right to work. Which one of these are covered by the Bill of Rights? These are questions they would ask our people when they were trying to vote. Another thing they asked was the grandfather clause. They said if your grandfather did not vote, you can't vote. I mean, your grandfather didn't vote, you can't vote. These are all the questions they used to ask our ancestors to stop them from voting. So my question to my statement to you guys who said that voting doesn't matter or voting doesn't count, why did they fight so hard for us not to get the right to vote?
Right.
Think about that. All these questions, why did they fight so hard for you not to vote? Think about that. These questions right here, how many bubbles does a bar of soap make? These are the questions they ask our
That's
people.
terrible.
Exactly. That's serious.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
And like he done hit mute.
He got excited. He turned himself
They
on.
made our ancestors pay to vote. So they call a voter tax, a poll tax. So think about this. Who says that voting doesn't matter? Well, if it doesn't matter, why they fight so hard for us not to vote? Think about that, fellas. Thank you.
I appreciate
And still
that,
doing
P.
it now. And still doing it now.
Still doing it, man.
Still doing it now in 2020. Voter suppression.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, fellas, thank you. It's been fun. It's been real. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of the Urban Retrospect. As a reminder, this week we covered Brough Brothers Bourbon, straight out of Louisville, Kentucky. You can see their information posted at the end of this show. We want to remind and ask everyone, as always, please like, share, subscribe on whatever platforms. You can find us on YouTube at The Urban Retrospect. You can find us on Facebook at The Urban Retrospect. You can find us on Twitter and IG at The Urban Retrospect. And guess what? If you want to get in contact, you can email us at, guess what? The Urban Retrospect. All right? We appreciate everybody for tuning in. We thank you. Remember that we're doing this for good. We're doing this to highlight the products of our people. We are not downing anyone. We love everybody. This is just supporting and showing about our own Black product. That's it. Don't turn into anything else. All right. And with that, we'll holler at y'all next week, man. Keep looking.
Right.
Keep pushing.